I'm Nguyen, and I will be facilitator for Exchange DAO. And first, I'm happy to invite Okeke to share the screen and the progress of Exchange DAO.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? If you can hear me and you
Yes.
can see my screen, just give a thumbs up. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. So, hello, everyone. It's nice to be here. It's nice to be on in this weekly sync meeting. I'm Okeke Chinedu Emmanuel, the DAO lead of Exchange DAO, and I'll be giving you updates on our progress so far. So, on the slide, we are Exchange DAO, and what is Exchange DAO? So, our main goal is turning knowledge into exchange. We're exchanging knowledge, like our name implies. So why exchange DAO? Knowledge exists everywhere, but access to it doesn't. There are people looking for knowledge, people with knowledge to offer, and countless opportunities for these two groups to learn from one another. But what is often missing is the connection between them, the connection to learn, share, and connect. So people learn by seeking the knowledge they need. People share by offering the skills, experiences, and perspectives they already have. And through this connection we're trying to make, the right people can find each other and create meaningful exchanges. Exchange now exists to turn knowledge into something people can actively exchange, creating a community where everyone has something to learn, something to share, and someone to connect with. So meet the DAO. We have our DAO lead Noah, and the DAO facilitator Noah, and also his co-facilitator Duyen. Then I, the DAO lead, Precious, the DAO co-lead. We have Onu Stella, who is in charge of user growth. We have Mr. Yasser in charge of the documentation and impact. We have Dr. Shah in charge of sponsors and partnership. Then we have Sebastian in charge of activation and sessions lead. Then we have Mohammed Abridan, who is also a member of our DAO. Then coming down to the different lanes, the first lane we have the user groups in charge of community engagement, well-being, outreach, announcements, and storytelling. So this lane is led by Onu Stella. So these are pictures of what she has been working on so far. So on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on X, you might have seen some posts from Onu Stella regarding Exchange DAO on what we're doing. So please, if you see any posts coming from her, you can also always engage on this post. Then the next is activation and sessions. So the activation and session design session format, supporting guides and coordinating session delivery. So our main aim in the activation and session lane, in the lane 2, is to bring about user growth, bring in more users to the platform, and make sure they have a smooth use of the platform. Then the next is the lane 3, in charge of sponsors and partnership. So they are in charge of building partnership, exploring sponsorships, and testing suitable regeneration models. So over time, we've had different meetings. We've had meetings with Cherries of Giving Tuesday. We've had meeting with the Teachers for Peace Alliance. We've had meeting with the Dusty organization. And we've also had some community meetup where we try to bring in people to the Cambria ecosystem. So our master plan is broken down into some main parts. First of all, in the May, we have to form. We establish the DAO, the working groups, the governance and direction. June, we began the experimentation. We begin testing the learning and collaboration model. By July, we grow partnerships, strengthen the CED ecosystem. By August, we drive community participation, meaningful sessions. Then by September, we round up by measuring the impact, test sustainability, and build what comes next. So if you want to go deeper, we have the link on this slide. You can read more about our master plan. So activities and deliverables. It was at this point that reality hit. So we kicked off and things got a bit messy. We discovered that the plan on paper wasn't the same as reality. The platform had bugs. The participation of our team members dropped. then the story was difficult to explain. So the purpose of Exchange DAO, what Exchange DAO is meant to do, was difficult to explain to external partners. So we had the plan. Now we had problems to solve. So we tried to adapt. The problems became experiments. So for the platform, there were bugs that were slowing down participation. So we identified, test, report, and improved the experience where we organized different tests to test the app and figure out what the problems are with the app. Then for the community engagement dropping, we reorganized responsibilities and focused on the people actively contributing. So if you see here, we have the membership participation scale that our DAO facilitator uses to track the participation. Then from time to time, our DAO facilitator, the co-facilitator, Dien, reassigned roles to certain persons that are more active. Then coming to partnership, it was difficult to explain. You send an email, you host a call with some partners, you you'll need a lot of time to understand what Exchange DAO is all about. So we tried to um, create simplified content, presentation slides, and communication templates. So if they don't get all the information at once and it becomes overloaded, they get what they need to know at the point and how Exchange DAO could benefit them. Then the questions come from them, not we overloading them with information at first. So from problem, we went to progress. Some things weren't working. Then understanding what is actually happening. Then we tried a new approach. Then we adapted and capture what the DAO knows. So from this problems we faced, we're able to get new information. We got results that we learned from and we could use moving forward. So the activities completed. The first is community. We're able to host physical meetups in Pakistan and Nigeria, where we started the Exchange DAO initial community. Next, we were able to complete our testing phase. So we completed our testing phase and we wrote a report concerning the issues are bothering the issues with the app, the bugs the apps is facing. So we had the issue. We scheduled a testing timetable where everyone could test, and we were able to provide these issues. Then we started building our knowledge network. So currently we are having a lot of persons joining the app and creating accounts and getting verified. These are the ones I am able to track right now. We have different guides, explorers on the app right now. We have more that are still joining. Then partnerships in motion. We have about three main partnerships in motion. We have the partnership with the Teachers for Peace Alliance. We have partnership with Giving Tuesday. We have partnership with the Dusty organization in Pakistan. So these are their logos. Then the virtual workshop. We also held a virtual workshop for our partners and for our partners, guides, explorers, people interested in the app. So we held a virtual workshop where we could talk to them about the app, clarify their questions. When they ask questions, we have interaction with them and learn from them. And also we put them through on some certain things they really don't understand on the app. Then some CED calls have started going on. Yes, there's still I think there's still one problem left with the app. When you share your screen, it might start acting up. But some guides asked if they could host sessions without them sharing their screen. Maybe they just email the slide to the explorer, then they have the session. So they tried it and it actually worked out fine. So we have some sessions on the app. Some other sessions are still being created. Sessions on the app is growing and the interaction is going on. So the impact measurements, we have this session exchange. Our target is 500. Right now we have 4 sessions that have been done. The people participating, our target is 100, and then right now we have about 27 plus persons in that we were able to track on the app. Then new people introduced to CED, about 100 plus. Right now, we have about 27 plus persons. Then the knowledge diversity, we plan to have about 10 plus domains where people can share topics on different categories. Right now on the app, studying the app and the sessions created, I can count about three different domains on which topics are created around. Then the regeneration outcomes, the partnerships, we have a target to secure 5 community partners. Right now, we are in discussion with 3 partners, still planning to do more outreach. Then build a network of guides who can continue offering knowledge. So our target is to have about 20, at least 20 guides. Right now, we have 10 active guides on the app. So we are not done yet. This is only the midpoint. We've built momentum, but there is still more to do. So there are more partnerships to develop, more CED sessions to create, more participants to onboard, and more knowledge to exchange. So this is our progress so far. We are just getting started. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Okeke, very much to represent Exchange out and sharing about the executions and updates. And I'm very happy that we are in the progress and have been doing all the great work. So the next thing is that I want to discuss a bit about your experience with working with the decentralized framework and doing the execution and all the proposal that has been working on. So I think move I can as Okiki have just shared about the slide. Could you quickly open and share also about your personal experience in working as a exchange DAO in the decentralized framework?
Okay, yeah. So working in a decentralized framework is like I said, it's decentralized. So the whole burden is not on one person. So for a fact, there is not really much burden on a single person since different persons are in charge of different things. But there is a bit of a problem in trying to get the progress around everything. You try to reach out to this person, reach out to this, reach out to this, to just make sure everything is moving forward. So that is the major challenge. But aside from that, you have people in charge of different aspects that bring about the progress in totality. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Okiki. And also, we are open to have any impression, sharing our thoughts on the execution of Exchange DAO from other DAOs from CCD, BBD, KTD. We're very open and welcome your thoughts. And if you all have any question related to the execution of Exchange DAO, please feel free to open your mind or drop it into the comment section. Because we have limited time, so I think we can move to the updates from DAO facilitator. But first, I will address the question from Yes Sir from Exchange DAO. So I think this is the opportunity to bring up the question so that everyone from other DAO can also have the opportunity to look at it. So he asked about will there be any amount of USDT deposited to us apart from the seed fundings for that request from the execution expense. So so the official statement from Gabriel is that uh, there is no deposit apart from this because every DAO will receive not only extra DAO, but every DAO will receive a single 3,000 seed fund to cover all the execution, learning, experimentation, or regeneration activity that will set aside, voted on XDAO, and distributed throughout the working group budget envelopes. And it all has been approved as part of the master plan in advance. So there will be no deposit aside from that. And the funding flows is only working in one direction only. So DAO approve the master plan, individual working groups submit the proposal with budget request, the DAO votes, and then the approved fund will be dispersed and to the responsible working group member, and DAO will have the cash book to keep track all of the receipts according to the payment. So The next part is where I want to share more about DAO facilitator thoughts on the and reflection on the execution of Exchange DAO, and I hope our insight can help members of Exchange DAO to improve and work better in the next phase. So the first thing is about the lesson learned. So the first lesson is about the alignment between Canberra team and DAO member that have been working to become more clarity. So Exchange DAO and Canberra are working together on the CED platform and also in terms of partnership to synergize our efforts, material, and shared goal. So it will give more clarity and more momentum to the execution. Um, Also, before involve, there's a quick update that before you involve any DAO facilitators or contribution from Cambria, member need to communicate and align with one another first, and also conclude what can Cambria or CED team can involve and help out with specific items. And this is the execution is entirely the responsibility and the ownership of the DAO. So these are your ownership to take actions, and it is not our DAO facilitator will try our best to assist and facilitate the sessions, but it is not our action to involve directly into the execution of the DAO. The next thing is about we learn about the proactive communication. So when a member face any problems or have confusion about a task, they need to inform the facilitator immediately or as early as possible to ask for support. Sometimes there are signs that you are confused and inactive, and the silence cannot help the situation, and it will create task hesitation or delay. So member need to revise the unclear tasks together to touch on the tasks that haven't been clear, and also that ask the facilitator to give support. And the final lesson is about we planning according to our final goals. So I know when we're doing plans, there could be the plans that go out of the flow of pop up from your creation, but and I very encourage everyone to be creative and put in a lot of thoughts, but also please make sure to align with our DAO ultimate goals of number sessions and the regeneration target. So for each land, for example, user grow land, you have to align with call to action for people to drive app registration. Partnership land to expand our ecosystem or to secure sponsorship. Documentation is about tracking that work or progress properly. And with session land, you have convert new user or provide prompt support. So that is most of the lesson learned that I want to distribute. And the next thing is about the areas for improvement. Um, so speaking of improvement, the it is very important to finalize the plans and take actions. So the majority of the work is on the plan document, and I know that planning is very important. But we need to transfer it into real action, task, or who will be the one to in charge. And each land should have its own tracking document and update deliverable to share with uh, everyone. Um, the next thing is about meeting courtesy. So our meeting is always recorded and have taking attendance. So it's very important. So if you cannot come into the session, come into the meeting, please let the facilitator know in advance and update your task to your co-landowners or to the DAO leads so that everyone can update your parts and we can align together instead of delaying it to another period. And the last thing is about the core message that I want to convey is that everyone should take the ownership of the task, but also work in collaboration with other Lens co-workers and also other Lens where possible. You do not have to work alone on this, so make sure to update what you have done with your counterparts and share any relevant documents, co-revise them, and working in alignment with the whole DAO and other lands. We're working in synergy, not isolation. So that is everything that I want to conclude for the improvement. For the next step, we have four old lands and everyone will have their own deliverable to run for the rest of the execution. User growth with social content calendar and publisher, activation with initiative of acquiring and assisting user, sponsorship with onboarding new partner to expand community or sponsorships, and documentation to archive and to validate. So there will be timeline at the execution will end at September 11th. So please try your best to make everything happen and ready for the DAO final report. So that is all update for the Exchange DAO and all the contributions. So now we'll pass the mic to our Jen.